Hello and welcome to another episode of the weekly tech catch up. I am Konark Tyagi and you're welcome again to this podcast. Today we are going to be talking about something that has been the buzzword of late, and there's been a lot of talk about this. I'm pretty sure amongst your friend circles, your WhatsApp groups, and also on the internet in general. Yes, I'm talking about cryptocurrencies, the world of Bitcoins, Ethereum, and all of those currency names that you must have been hearing of late. So, in this podcast, I'm going to be trying to tell you the basics of how cryptocurrencies work. Should you be putting in your money as an investment into the cryptocurrencies, and is India ready for cryptocurrency? So, without much further ado, let's get started. Alright, so before we begin, before we get into the details and integrities of things, we first must understand where were the first cryptocurrencies started from. So it all started back in the day in 2008 when there was the big financial crash that happened in the US. One of the reasons of that crash was banking sector. So because of that, some people came in together and they were not very certain about putting in their hard-earned money into banks. So these techies, they developed a blockchain sort of a format where you could exchange things of value to one person to another without actually using a central resource like a bank. So the blockchain technology, the very basic essence on which cryptocurrency relies on, is basically a decentralized form of transactions. So for example, I'll give you a very basic example. If you have to send money to your friend, how does it usually work? Well, you give in your input to your bank that this is the amount of money you want to transfer from here to here. Then the bank checks your bank balance and it deducts that amount of money, and then it does the same to the person you're sending your money to. It sends the money to them. So in this entire process, there is a central resource called the bank. There's a financial institution who's taking care of how the money is coming in and where the money is going to. But when you talk about cryptocurrencies, when you talk about the blockchain technology, it's a decentralized format of transactions. So there isn't a central resource or an institution like a bank. So it is peer-to-peer, it is direct. There isn't a middleman, there isn't a bank controlling or looking at what you're doing. So when you talk about decentralized control, cryptocurrencies, supply and value are controlled by the activities of their users, and they're all involved around highly complex protocols built in by the governing codes, the codes that I was talking about. So, there isn't any regulatory authority or central banks who are, gauging and trying to convert other things. So basically, there isn't a transaction fees as well. It's all very direct and the function is smoother compared to the conventional form. Well, if you talk about exchanging it with fiat currencies are basically the currencies that you and us transact in on a day-to-day basis, like INR, USD. So now let's talk about how many cryptocurrencies are there out in the market right now and what are their current worth. There are around 6,700 different types of cryptocurrencies which are traded publicly, and the total worth, according to a website, till April 13th was $2.2 trillion. Well, that is a big amount. And one of the most famous cryptocurrency which started this entire thing is, of course, the Bitcoin. Bitcoin currently is valued over $1 trillion, which is a huge amount. And then comes in Ethereum, which is valued at $263 billion. And then there are Binance Coin, XRP, Tether, other things that follow. So the reasons why cryptocurrencies became so popular is because, people see it as the future. People think that they're becoming more and more valuable, and in the last recent year, if you've seen the amount of gains that cryptocurrencies have shown, there is of course a sizable amount of gain that they've shown over conventional stock markets and other things. The legality question now, well, are cryptocurrencies legal in India? Well, there isn't a clarity in terms of the legality of cryptocurrencies in India. I mean, they're not illegal and they're not legal as well. They're not monitored and controlled right now. So there isn't anything stopping you from investing into cryptocurrencies at the moment. How do you do that now? That is the next question. Well, there are wallets and applications which are available, something like a WazirX, something like a CoinDCX Go. These are the common applications that are available. What you need to do is download these applications and, of course, link in your KYC, your Aadhaar card, and other banking details, and then you can buy cryptocurrency using your INR funds through your bank account. So yes, that is a way. How do you start investing in cryptocurrency? And again, cryptocurrencies are a little too young, a little too early to be commented on in terms of their long-term viability. But as of now, if you have some funds sitting in, so it's always better to diversify your portfolio. Again, I'm not a financial expert, but if you can diversify some of your sitting funds into crypto, the chances are that it might just go up in the future. So I hope this podcast has been interesting for you. I spoke about the very basics of what cryptocurrencies are, how did it start back in the day, the decentralized system, how does it all work, and what currencies are there out there in the market, and whether you should be investing or not. How do you invest? What are the ways to do it? So that's about it in today's podcast. This is Konark Tyagi. Thank you so much for listening.